Hello everyone, my name is Vlad and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to look at what I've done in my expansion area and the updates I've done to my city. I think I did a lot of really cool stuff, and also I'm going to show you some of my future plans in my city because there is a few things that is going to be changing. So why don't we get started right now. First of all, you will notice that in this corner of my city there's a few things missing. I used to have the sitcom tower here and the Daily Bugle. Ever since I expanded the Daily Bugle, I'm going to move it into a new place. This area here is going to be changing. I'm going to be mills plating it, and what I'm also going to be doing is changing something else. And that is, you'll notice that the beach area is actually missing here. That's because I've redone it in a much more spectacular way. We'll get to that in a minute. Here what I want to do is I want to expand the camping area and include the A-frame cabin, the new A-frame cabin, so I'm excited about that. And also be, as I mentioned before, updating the underground railway so it can accommodate the new train and the curved walls. So that's going to be coming up next after I finish the expansion area. So why don't we get started and look at the expansion area. So as I pan across the city, nothing has changed here. My amusement park is still the same as it is, but what has changed is now, as you notice, I've moved the Daily Bugle to over here in my expansion area. And one shout out I'd like to make for the Daily Bugle, I've actually had a sponsor that donated their Lego points towards the second Daily Bugle that I bought. So what I did in gratitude is I actually updated the video sign, and I said sponsored in part by Mr. Biggs. So thank you, Mr. Biggs. Great shout out. Your points were very appreciated and it came into good use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my Daily Bugle here, and I'm going to put the Doctor Strange apartment here, Sanctum Sanctorum here, and make some streets. I haven't worked that out yet. And I'm also going to have the sitcom tower here, and then I'll have a place for something else. So this will kind of be like I guess the best way of describing it is Fiction Street, or the fiction area, Marvel and various sitcoms all in one place. So what have I done? Well, basically I've made a completely new beach area. And this is really exciting. What I did, I wanted to put a lighthouse here. So I'll pan out of this to give you a shot of what it looks like. So this is the new beach area. It also has a lighthouse, features the lighthouse. And it features a cliff and the buildings on top of the cliff. So I decided to move the water and beach down to the lower gorge level, which makes more sense. That's where this part of the ocean and water should really be. And I built a cliff around it, around where just where the train station's turn is, a large curve. And I've done the old fishing shop. I put that up here, and I've made a little pond up at the top, and I put the surf house at the top, as you can see there. So it opens up into the pond area. So it's kind of like a pond area above and then the sea below. I also have here this structure, which you'll see from the other side. It features an elevator and staircase that go through inside the mountain, and they come out at the bottom here. You can see right here the stairs, and kind of the dark area there is where the escalator is inside. I'll try to zoom in on there. There, you can see it there. I got that idea when I was in Italy, visiting Italy a few years back. Actually, in one of the coastlines where they have a cliff and they have a beach underneath it, they actually have an elevator that you can take that goes through the cliff down below, and it opens up towards the beach. So that's where I got it from. What I did this time is, instead of using the light and dark tiles, I used just the light tiles, and I used a dark and light brick underneath it to give it a little bit more contour. I added the waves like I had before, And if you notice, everything is on Mills plates. So this is completely modular, and I'll show you that in a minute. Then what I did is I put the lighthouse in the corner, the functioning lighthouse. I think that's a great spot for it, and it looks really good. And on the beach, I have basically the same thing as I had before. I have the volleyball court, a couple people on blankets, a little ice cream corner, and mother taking pictures of her daughter building a sandcastle, some divers going in, and one of the lobsters is going to nip one of the divers in the butt, and also one of the little crabs is stealing one of the ice cream cones and headed towards the sea. Because why do people always have to have all the fun? And I also have the rowboat from the coming towards the dock of the lighthouse. So this is pretty cool. So I'll flip it around here just to give you so what I did also here before I flip it around is I also made a cliff area here and a little bit of a outreach little segment so you can actually get into the back of the cabin and to the side door right here, and that moves into the facet of the railway gorge. I integrated it really nicely into the cliff. I think it looks really good. And if I come around here, what I did is when I had the pier, I moved the pier over here. So the pier is actually going across the pond to the elevator and staircase. And I put some palm trees. And what I'm going to do with this small gap here, there's going to be obviously street over here. And here there's going to be some parking stalls and some sidewalks. So that's going to be what I'm going to be working on next. So that is my new area. And I think it turned out really well. I like my detail, my complete detail of my cliff edge. Looks really nice. And the beach makes sense to be below now. And I think it turned out really well. So let me show you how this kind of is modular, how really modular this is on the Mills plates, because it can easily come apart. So I'll show you that right away. I'm going to take this whole thing apart, but I will show you how it comes apart. So it's really easy. I can just take this piece off, put it over here, and I can take this piece off here, just undo it, and this whole thing slides right out. So I can slide it out just like this. It sits on sits on some finishing plates, and it has a few sliders, so it just slides right in and holds on the finishing plates and some plate. Actually, the plate came out right here. This plate should actually be right here. That's what it slides upon. So I'll just move it back into position right here. So as you can see, it slides in here and in here, and then it fixes to here and here. And then what I could do is I could slide all these Mills plates out if I want to. So I can take this part out here, and this whole thing comes off too. This whole piece comes off here too, just like normally. Normally I can take this whole area right off, and I can slide this here completely out, all three of these. And if I want to, I just have to undo a few studs on the ocean, which I'll do in a second. I just have some 1x2 small plates up at the top here and over by the sand holding the Mills plates together, and once I get those I can just slide this right out, as you can see right here. And I can also slide out the mountain, and this one's on a half plate, so that's just how easy it can be. So I can move this around. I can put this over here, for now. And then this, I can show you kind of what it looks like underneath there. And this is a full plate right here. And that's another plate. And the lighthouse also slides out. I can slide it out, so I can basically take this whole thing apart. Literally, it's just held together in Mills plates and a couple little 1x2 plates, and it's completely modular. So I really think it turned out really well. And if we turn off the lights and turn on the Underground Railway lights, we see the station and the face, and also the cliff edge and the functioning lighthouse. So that's pretty cool. So that's so far everything I've done. I'm going to continue the finishing off the streets and the buildings in this corner here. Once I get kind of that almost complete, I'm going to turn my attention to the other side of the city. As mentioned, I'm going to build in where the beach used to be. I'm going to build a park area for campers and for the A-frame cabin and move the treehouse. I'm going to move the road over there, that road over there in the tunnel. I'm going to move it over so there's more room for the wilderness area. And it's going to make a little bit more sense because, as somebody pointed out, when I used to have the beach up there, the water used to be kind of underneath the railway, which didn't make that much sense. So this will make a lot more sense, and eventually I will build more buildings over in the back there. And I didn't forget, in my office tower, having the background, I've been buying lots of parts so I can work on the interior. That's going to be a project I'm going to probably do in the spring as well. And everything's going to be converted to Mills plates, first on this side. And then once that side is done, I'm going to go in the center, downtown center area. I'm going to also Mills plate that completely and upgrade the railway to include all the curves and be able to handle the new trains. So that is it for now. If you like this video and you would like to have future notifications, please subscribe, and also leave me some feedback. As I mentioned, I really love reading feedback. So until next time, have a great day.